Hi, everybody. My name is Bevan Riley. I'm the sales manager here at Dido, and I just wanted to thank everybody for taking some time out of their day and joining our webinar. I just wanted to provide a little bit of background on Dido and Google Apps in general before we start on our live demo where we can kind of show you some of the live collaboration that takes place with the Google Apps suite. So Dido was founded back in May of 2007 as one of the original resellers of Google Apps. We were founded shortly after Google Apps launched on April Fool's Day 2007. I'm sure a lot of our competitors out there thought this was a joke, but we have stayed the path, and we have about 5,000 new companies a day that sign up for Google Apps. We are really solely focused on Google Apps. So we provide deployment. So we successfully migrated from a variety of different legacy systems like Exchange 03, 07, 2010, GroupWise, Zimbra, Lotus Notes. You pretty much name it, we've done it. Also, we kind of help on the integration point. So if you have any existing CRM systems, unified communications, we can help with the integration points there as well. And our real strong suit here at Dido is the change management and training. This is where we really shine in trying to help your users fully adopt the web interface, where they'll be able to do real-time collaboration, chat, just the functionality around using the web interface instead of using Outlook. But for some of those users, that may be, very resistant to change, you do have the ability to use the Outlook interface. Also, we have a development team here at Dido. Our development team, consists of developers that can create applications via the Google Apps engine. Also, we have a Google Sites developer. So he would be able to help, create an intranet. Also, we have a Google Scripts developer where we can create different workflow processes that may be unique to your organization. Even after the development takes place and you're fully deployed, we also have support services. So with our support services, you'll be able to have an ongoing support partner where we'll be able to proactively engage you and make sure your users are happy with the Google Apps switch. One thing that we're really proud of here at Dido is that we are one of only 6 premier partners in North America. This is something that we met the metrics that Google was looking for, and this is just one big accolade that we are very proud of. One of those kind of metrics that we've kind of hit is that we've deployed hundreds of different companies. We've deployed companies when we first started out 50 users and under, and then just recently we deployed a company of 380,000 users. So we definitely can help companies across the spectrum. One thing that we'll provide to you after this webinar is over is a link to our Dido blog, and this is often referenced by Google as us being the Google Apps experts, as there's a lot of tips and tricks. So it will be something to take a peek at after this presentation is over with. So I always find this slide very unique in the sense that back in 2007, the core suite was $50 a user, but only included mail, calendar, and docs. Here in 2012, you have a variety of different options within the suite. So you have your Gmail, you have your calendar, but also one thing that's not shown in this slide, I believe there was about 185 different updates last year alone on feature releases. So it's an ever-evolving product, and the price point has always been at that $50 per user. Just to dive in briefly into some of the core applications of the suite. So with Gmail, which would be your email, you have about 25 gigs of storage per user. Also, you have Calendar, which is pretty self-explanatory, but it's just an easy way to have overlap calendars so you can easily schedule meetings. Also, Google Drive, which launched a few months ago, is where you can be able to have shared files, and you have up to 5 gigs free per user to share any type of file, which could be, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, video, about 30 different file types. And then if it's converted over to a Google Doc, then you have an unlimited amount of storage. With Google Docs, you have just the doc itself. Also, you have spreadsheets and presentations. And with these docs, you'll be able to collaborate in real time, and we'll demonstrate this via our demo starting very shortly. Also included in the suite is Talk. So you have the functionality of being able to easily chat somebody or even spin up a video conference. Also included with your $50 price tag is Postini. So this is going to be your spam and virus filtering. So no need for a Barracuda or anything like that. This is all included in the suite itself. Also, if you ever needed archiving or discovery needs, you have Google Vault. Also, Google Sites is a great way for an intranet or maybe even project sites for project teams. And you can create internal sites or even external sites. So this kind of segues, why are companies, going Google? And I really feel that it falls into 3 main value propositions. One is really, lowering your cost of ownership. You're not going to have to be spending, your time, your money, maintaining these servers with software, hardware upgrades, security patches. This is all going to be maintained in the Google Cloud. So you will always have the newest version. You're going to have, you'll always be up to date. You're not going to have to wait 3 years for an upgrade to be on the latest and greatest. And this is all inclusive in that $50 price tag. Second value proposition, I believe, is mobility. Being able to access your information anytime, anywhere, from any device. Especially nowadays with a lot of companies kind of instituting a bring your own device policy. This is a real benefit, for companies to be able to easily, integrate all types of devices. If it's an Android, iPad, iPhone, BlackBerry, whatever it may be. Third is really the increased productivity. The reason with the increased productivity is that you're able to collaborate in real time in the cloud. Also, if you have different locations, it's a great way to be able to keep your employees interactive via chat or video conferencing. And this is just a quick slide of some of the companies that have gone Google. It's kind of a variety. You have some large companies like Genentech, Jaguar, Land Rover. Then also in the small to medium-sized businesses, Hamilton Beach, The Onion. There's a variety of different institutions. Also on the education front, I believe there's about 50 of the top 100 universities throughout the country are on Google Apps. And we wanted to showcase, one of our, featured clients, and we really wanted to, show the video, but the video doesn't come across well via webinar. So I just wanted to, what we'll do after this presentation is shoot you over a link so you can watch the video. But just to kind of give you a brief synopsis, YogaWorks came from a hosted exchange environment, about 500 users with 24 different locations across the country. So they were really getting tired of the high cost of the hosted exchange, and also they were experiencing quite a bit of downtime. So we were able to lower their IT costs by about 60% and provide them with an SLA of a 99.9% uptime guarantee. And one thing that they've really taken advantage is their increase in productivity. The employees have really started to fully adopt the web interface, so they've been easily able to chat, video conference, and collaborate on presentations in real time. And what we want to do now is kind of go through a little bit of a demo of a typical situation that a lot of companies face, and how we can collaborate on that with the Google Cloud.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Bevan, for that intro. I really appreciate it. My name is Matt McLaughlin, and I'm one of the Google Apps Change Management Specialists here at Dido. And I'm going to be working with one of my colleagues here today to kind of give you a demo of what Google Apps can do for you and your organization throughout a typical workday. So we know that every business is unique in your structure, in your culture, and also your workflow. But there is one thing that many businesses have in common, and that is the need for effective communication and collaboration. So in our short demonstrations today, we're going to focus on exactly that, both communicating and collaborating in the Google Apps Cloud. With our examples, we will show you how collaboration begins and continues with Google Apps. So let's assume that I just recently made the transition to Google Apps, my organization here. We're going to take a short tour through a typical day at some of the differences that I might see with this Google Apps platform, and you'll see how they all kind of tie together, they come together, and really increase your productivity and collaboration abilities. Okay. First thing I need to do is I need to sign in. So what you see here is actually a sign-in screen. We actually, during the deployment, we provide organizations with a shortcut URL so that users can log in. In this case, it's going to be mail.didollc.com. Okay? And this is the same screen you see here, but you saw it was very easy to type that in, mail.didollc.com. And you notice the Gmail logo here. This could be your personal logo there. And this is this website that users will come to log into their account. Okay? The first big difference, again, like we said, is it is a web-based application. Google Apps is a web-based application. What that means for me is that I can access all of my applications, mail, calendar, documents, contacts, sites, from anywhere on any device. And as Bevan mentioned earlier with the device policies, people are bringing in all sorts of devices. Your laptops, netbooks, you have iPads, iPhones, Androids, BlackBerries. The good news is that all of these items connect to the platform. Okay. For all you know, I could actually be delivering this webinar from the beach with my toes in the sand on my iPad. It's possible. It's not happening, but hey, a man can dream, So let me go ahead and just log in for you here to show you how easy it is. So I'm going to enter my credentials here. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm entering my username and password, and it brings me right into my account. And this is really what your account is going to look like when you migrated your data over. And this is the inbox here. I'm brought directly to my inbox. Now, the second biggest difference that we see and a lot of other people see is that there's a 25 gigabytes worth of difference, which you're looking at right here. Google provides 25 gigabytes of data storage in your account, and that includes all of your mail and all of your attachments. It's a very, very large number there, and that's actually a lot of data that can be contained in that. As I scan through my emails, I have a natural inclination to delete or archive messages, but with Google Apps, I remember that that is actually a way of the past. And what I want to show you here is actually this all mail option. If you look towards the left-hand side of my screen, all mail. If you look at all mail, this is all of my messages that are sent and received, and it also contains all of my chats. If you're looking here, I only in this count have 1,069 messages, which isn't that much, but that could be for somebody that starts, or in my case, in my actual personal account, because I have 25 gigabytes of data storage, I've been able to hold on to my email for years. If 25 gigabytes doesn't mean a whole lot to you, to put it in perspective, I have 30,000 emails in my inbox, and it's only using 11% of the data storage that is out there. So, that's so much mail, so many attachments, and I'm only using up 11%, and I've been using the account for about 3.5 years now. So that's a lot of space. The days of those pop-up messages asking you to archive are pretty much gone. They're all a thing of the past there. So that makes me happy about Google Apps, and also makes me feel a little bit overwhelmed. How am I going to keep track of all these messages? You are used to your Outlook folders or a folder structure in your legacy system. Well, I want to go ahead and touch on labels for you here. This is a very unique feature to Google Apps, and Google Apps has labels instead of folders. They work just like folders, but they also have some added bonuses there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my inbox here so I can show you some of those. But for those times that you have absolutely no idea where an email is, you can always rely on the search bar to find what you're looking for, as well as the labeling function here. Now, let me show you real quickly what I like about labels. Is one of the things that you can do that you really weren't able to do in your legacy systems. Before you'd get an email and you'd file it away. You'd take it out of your inbox and you'd move it to a label or a file, a folder over here on this side. Well, maybe when you get an email in your inbox now, you're not able to read it, but you know that it actually means something on the left-hand side where your labels are, where your folders are, that mail deserves to be in one of those folders. But you're not ready to get it out of your inbox yet because you still need to reply. Well, not to worry. One of the great features is this. You could take labels, drag them right over to the message there, and it essentially tags that message. What does that mean? Well, that message is now available to me in this label over here, and I haven't even opened it yet. What else is great is if you notice this message here has two labels on it. I'll do the same thing here. This message is now in two different places. So before you were only allowed to have one email message in one folder. This way you can have multiple messages in multiple folders. So it's a really nice added bonus there. So I'm feeling pretty good about this now. As I made the transition to Google, I like the fact that I can have some flexibility with my messages. The storage is a really great feature there. I really like this organization that they're offering here. But if only Google laid out my day for me. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Ask and you shall receive. My Google Apps account delivers a daily agenda to my email every day by 5 a.m. listing my meetings and events for that day. I'm a big fan of that. The reason being is that I got a lot going on a lot of the times, and I need to know right then, first thing in the morning, that I'm ready to go. So it's like having a free personal assistant. Now, if Google could just give me coffee, perhaps they can add this as a lab relate or something. Basically, it seems to be doing everything for me except to get my coffee. But let me go ahead and show you what this daily agenda looks like here. It's the second email down, and if I look at this here, it says daily agenda from Matt McLaughlin as of 4:50 a.m. So at 4:53, this message was delivered here. If I open that up, it goes ahead and it breaks down my day for me. Now, I only have a couple events today, which isn't typical, but the daily agenda has listed my events there, and it looks like an easy day, like I said, but I forgot about the budget meeting today. I should take a look at those details to make sure that I'm on the right page. So now that I'm in this email, I can easily access the information to this event right here from within my email. I don't even have to go to my calendar. I can just simply click on this, and it opens up my calendar in a new window here, and it provides me with all of the details for this specific meeting. So the benefit there is that I was able to open my event directly from my email. And now when I'm looking at this event here, I can see who is coming to the event. And I even notice that it has an attachment here. This is what we're going to be reviewing in our meeting that we're going to be having later today. So, I better open this attachment to make sure that I'm prepared for the meeting. So a great thing here is that this is a Google document that I was able to access from my inbox to my calendar all the way here, and I'm able to just click on it without having to search for it any other way. So it's bringing me right to where I need to go. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and this item opens up right here, which is our IT savings budget plan that we have here. So the biggest difference that I see here in some of these, in the way that we collaborate here, is that this is one document that we have, and multiple people have access to it, which is actually really, really neat. One of the big things about Google Docs or Google Drive and the documents that are associated with Google Docs is that there's real-time collaboration available to you. So, if you're worried about, input and emailing to somebody and getting the input and then coming back to you, that's very time-consuming. Well, those days are gone now. And we'll show you a quick example of how that really, really works here. So it looks, though, as if we're not really ready for this meeting that we have later today. It looks as if I've got a lot of data that actually isn't on the spreadsheet right now. Okay, I need to make sure that I get that spreadsheet filled out before this meeting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I know that I asked a colleague of mine to help me out with this. And she may have been busy and was unable to get to it, but I need to remind her to go ahead and knock this out before our meeting today. So what I want to do is I'm going to copy the link that I have here. This link is a direct link to this document we have here. I'm going to go back to my inbox, and Tina Grossenmeyer is the person that I want to go and have work on this here. So I'm going to find her name here, and I'm going to chat to her, and I'll go ahead and chat to her this document here, send it to her, and I'm going to say, please help me edit this document. We need to plug in the numbers. So one way for me, instead of sending another email, was to quickly communicate with Tina via chat. So I came back to my inbox here. I went in there and I quickly asked her to jump into this document and help me out and help me get those numbers in there. Okay? So now that I've contacted her, all I really need to do is go back to that document here. And Google was actually going to let me know when Tina gets into the document by listing the viewers. And in just a second, you'll see right here, actually, notice up at the top here, this pink bar, this is letting me know that Tina's actually in this document now, and she's letting me know that she's here to help because we can chat within this document. So if there were things that I wanted to go ahead and inform her of, I could. So I'm just going to say thanks. So instant communication, I think, is the key here that we really, really enjoy now that we've gone Google. The ability to really just get answers when we need them right on time. All right? So now that Tina's in the account here, I'm going to go ahead and I can leave her a comment if I want in some of these cells here, which is nice. And maybe if I'm, curious about some of these numbers here, I can click on that actual cell there and come up here to insert, and I can insert a comment if I like. Is that the correct information there? So now, anything that has a comment in it is going to be noted by these little orange triangles in the cell, and when you hover your mouse over it, you'll see that right there. So Tina sees that, and she's now responding to that. Okay. I have to admit, this is actually one of my favorite differences from moving from one of my legacy systems there. We can work together on one document and still maintain a large amount of control. It doesn't get too crazy with a lot of people in here, because you know where everybody is, you know where they are. You don't have to worry about stepping on their toes. As you can see, the colors here shows me directly where they're located as they move around the document, which is a really, really, really nice feature. Okay, so it looks like Tina got those numbers in there. It looks like there are some big savings that we had by switching from Microsoft Exchange to Google Apps. And if you look at some of those numbers, it's a large, large number there. Imagine what you could do with the savings. Imagine what we're doing with the savings there. All right. Actually, I think with those savings, I think I might have to give Tina a little bonus there for helping me get all this data in there so I can go to this meeting prepared. Okay. Now, looks like Tina's chatting to me again here in this chat thing here. It says, now that I helped you, I think she's going to be asking me for a favor here. So I'm going to wait here. We'll see what she's saying. Looks like she needs a lot of information from a project that we worked on last year. So basically she said, can I get the documents from the Acme project we worked on last year? I know there are many. All right, and that's okay. My first initial thoughts are, those are a lot of documents. Do I have to email all of them? That could be a very big time-consuming project. Having to go in there and find those documents and download them so I can add them as an attachment. But with Google Apps, Google Drive is the solution here. Google Drive can do this. So let me show you what that looks like here real quick here. What I'll do is I'll go back to my inbox here. Notice I have all these tabs open. Go back to my inbox here, and I want to open up my Drive right here. It's one of the applications that's available to me with the Google Apps platform. So when I click on Drive here, Drive is a place that allows me to store 30 different file types and share them with anyone that I want. Basically what happens is that when you download Google Drive, you have a folder on your computer, and if there were files on your computer, you could put it into that folder and it would sync to the web. So one thing that I would do now for Tina is to simply go in and find these documents, maybe put them into a folder, or I can simply find them as they come on here, as they appear, and then choose to share them directly with Tina. So I can go through here and find all the documents and quickly share all of these with Tina here. Now, what's really nice about that is that I don't have to do it individually. I can do it in bulk, and I can add Tina at DitoLLC.com. She now has access to it. And instead of me having to download all those documents there, I've saved a lot of time by finding them, sharing them, and they'll appear in her Google Drive list as well. Okay, so now, this seems to be really my favorite difference. I never knew this, but change can actually be really good and really effective. I want to learn more about Google Apps. Seems like Tina knows a lot about Google Apps, so I need to pick up on some of these things because it looks like she's been doing her research here. So I'm going to take some time to schedule some time with Tina. Maybe go through a few things that she's learned. We can share some items that we've learned. So the good thing about this is that now that we've gone through all this, I can go back to my calendar, and if I wanted to quickly schedule an event with Tina, I could. And maybe I need to go ahead and sync with her to get all the information that I need. So it's really easy to do that. I've seen how productive she was with the Google Apps platform today, quickly jumping in, responding quickly to my chats, needed the information, so I shared it with her via Docs. Now I want to schedule some time with her, and it's super easy. And it looks like this Friday, with the ability to look at multiple calendars here, I know when Tina is free because I've added her calendar here. We're looking at her events. Her events are marked as pink. And it looks like this Friday looks like a good time at 2 o'clock. So all I have to do is simply quickly click on the calendar event, edit the event here, and I can schedule Tina and Matt Google Apps Sync one-on-one. Okay? And easily come over here and add Tina as a guest. Click Add, hit Save, send the invitations, and there you go. So now I've sent an invitation to Tina. It's on our calendars. I'm waiting for her reply, and we should be good to go. And on this Friday, looks like we're going to have a little one-on-one session there. What I really like about calendars is being able to view multiple calendars. You don't have to look at everybody's calendar that you add. You can simply add as many calendars as you like, and then you can show and hide the ones that are that have a lot of meaning to you. Maybe there's some that you just need to reference every once in a while. That's definitely capable of being done here, and that's one feature that I truly, truly, truly enjoy about Calendar. But I never knew this, but change can be good. I'm experiencing it now, and I have been experiencing it for the past couple months as I've recently transitioned to Google Apps. So now that I've gone Google, what has changed? Well, I don't spend an hour scheduling a half-hour meeting. I have a lot of storage, both in email and in my documents. I can organize mail in similar ways as I once did, with folders and labels there. I can still chat, but now I can voice and video call. That's one of the additional features that come along with chat there. I don't email attachments anymore. I share documents. I think I'm actually Google for Google. I wish Google Apps still could make that coffee, though. I'm a little, it's that 2:30 feeling, so I really wish they could work on that. Who knows? That could happen here very, very soon. So now that you've seen just a preview of the many features of Google Apps, we would like to take some questions, some time to address some specific questions that you may have. Feel free to enter your questions into the questions pane or hit the raise your hand icon, and you can ask your question verbally. So I'll go ahead, and we'll come back here to this slideshow so you can see this. And we can go ahead and open it up to some questions that we may have for us there. So, Bevan, is there anything else you'd like to add here and see if we have any questions?
Yeah, please feel to ask any questions that you may have, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them for you. Just to let you know here, we're going to have a couple sessions, live lunch and learn sessions, one in Washington, D.C. On August 8th, and then in Orange County on August 23rd. So if you're located in any of those areas, feel free to come and have a lunch and learn session with us.
Excellent. Thank you, Bevan. Well, looks like we did get a question here. I want to go ahead and see if we can field it there. One of the questions was, what if we only want to use Drive and Calendar within our organization? Do we have to have mail?
That's an excellent question. And what we've actually seen quite a bit lately is companies specifically launching maybe just Drive for shared files. So you get, for the whole suite at the $50 per user per year, you get everything that's included. So if you don't want to use Mail and Calendar, you can just take advantage of Drive.
Okay, excellent. Thanks for that clarification there, Bevan. There was there's another question that came in here, and it's actually a really, really good question. How long does a typical deployment take?
That is an excellent question. I would say, typically it's around a 5-week deployment. What we really do is start off with core IT, make sure that we troubleshoot all the issues in core IT, and then roll up to early adopters. Those are going to be kind of your champions within your organization. And then the third phase would be a global go live.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Appreciate that. And we did have one more question that I noticed just came in here. This one is it possible to test out Google Apps?
Definitely. Here at Dido, we have something that we developed called Test Drive, which is kind of very much of a solution validation process where we can get 5 users within your organization and basically go down a checklist, make sure that we're approving out all your success criteria.
Excellent. Thank you, Bevan. Appreciate that. I'll let you know if any more questions come in, but if you'd like to go ahead and continue with the presentation, by all means.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, one thing I think what we want to do is, have a drawing for the attendees for our Chromebook. And through a random selection, it looks like Jay Mystery will be receiving the free Chromebook. So congratulations, Jay.
Yes, congratulations, Jay. They're great devices. We really, really like using them. Excellent. Well, thank you all very much. Bevan, you want to go ahead and take it away, and we'll go ahead and wrap today's session up. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, excellent. Well, thanks, everybody, again for joining us today. It looks like we don't have any questions here. Actually, the one more just came in. Is this webinar downloadable in order to show to other people? And we are going to be going through a conversion process at this session, and so we'll make sure that we get that out to you. And you are more than welcome to show it to anybody in your organization there. So Bevan or one of our sales team members will be reaching out to you with that information. So thank you for showing the interest. I appreciate it.
And just to follow up there, we'll follow up with an email with some links as well to the Dido blog, and then also a recording of this webinar.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, thank you all again very much. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.